Hello, boys and girls. I'm back to read chapter 3 of Appleblossom the Possum by Holly Goldberg Sloan. And I have my good friend Appleblossom here. I'm going to read you a little bit more, but before we start, let's talk about what genre this book is. Did you notice that animals are talking and you can hear Appleblossom's thoughts as the author is revealing the story? And I started thinking, what kind of book is that? Well, we know it's fiction, because the animals are talking and there's details that are made up. But the fact that the animals are talking, I realized this is animal fantasy. This book is animal fantasy. But the cool thing about it is the author still has to do tons of research and know tons of things about animals, especially possums, in order to write this book. And one of the details she shared with us is that when baby possums are born, they're only 1 inch. And they have no hair. They have teeny tiny little front feet and back feet and a teeny tiny little tail. Did you remember the little thumbs that helped her get to the pouch? So I got out my tape measure just to see how big 1 inch really is. Do you see how tiny those little possums had to be when they were first born? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's get started with chapter 3. When we left off, they were just finding out that it was really important for them to be good actors, but Mother hasn't really revealed why yet. So let's see if we find out some more. Okay, chapter 3. Possums are born into darkness, and they stay that way. They are, as the thinker Antonio says, nocturnal. I bet a lot of you know what that word is. Let's see if they give us some more information about that. And nocturnal things sleep during the day and are awake at night. There's a whole world of creatures that only appear when the sun goes down. And that means that the darkness is very much alive. Lots of birds along with the small mice in the field and the rats that creep out of the clumps of ivy and heaps of trash are also nocturnal. So are the bushy-tailed raccoons that come down from the hills after the sun sinks into the horizon. Skunks sleep until nightfall unfolds, snuggled underneath porches or concealed behind rusty garden tools stacked in the corner of the backyard. Many types of spiders emerge from cracks in the bark of trees or the underside of outdoor furniture only when the sky has gone dark. Bats take to the air. Moths and black beetles edge away from the camouflage of molted branches and pitted fences. Enterprising badgers squeeze out from openings behind trash cans and stacks of firewood. Deer hop over fences, entering yards to eat rose bushes and the newly green tops of hedges. Crickets and toads and frogs open their mouth and call out to announce the arrival of darkness. But not one of these nocturnal animals is like Possum, because as Mama Possum explains, none of the other creatures are marsupials. Oh, another cool word. When they first hear this news, all of the possum babies cheer. Alberta starts a chant. We are marsupials! We are marsupials! We are marsupials! All of the baby possums join in and they make a possumid, which is a pyramid of possums. The cheering goes on for some time before Appleblossom stops to ask, "But what is a marsupial?" The other babies fall silent. Even Antonio, who knows a lot because he likes to investigate, doesn't have this answer. Mama Possum explains, marsupials have pouches where their babies live after they are born. Kangaroos and koala bears are marsupials. Amlet is confused. What is a kangaroo or a koala? Mama Possum's long nose twitches. It does that when she's uncertain. They don't live around here. Appleblossom suddenly worries that the kangaroo and koala might be lost and need help. She asks, should we try to find the other marsupials? Mama Possum's ears point skyward in alarm. No, absolutely not. You should try to find snails, earthworms, eggs in nests, and fallen apples. Our job is clear. We spent our time digging for beetles and ant colonies. When that doesn't work, we sniff out bird feeders stocked with seed. We do our best to remove chicken bones from trash cans and the uneaten remains from sticky wrappers flung to the ground. We are hunters, yes, but we are also great scavengers. We are the cleanup crew that comes in after the mess. And speaking of messes, there is no better place than a football field after a big game, or at least that's what I've heard. We are neighborhood possums. This is our area. I've never actually been to a stadium parking lot after a sporting event, but from the chatter I hear, there's nothing like it. Antonio raised his hand. He's just had an epiphany, which is like saying a light went off in his mind. But because they live in the darkness, this is more like saying the shadows got bigger and so did his understanding. Epiphany's a fun word. Mama Possum looks pleased with her clever possum baby. Yes, Antonio. Being scavengers explains why we have so many teeth. With all the different food sources, we need a full jaw to grind the grub. Murmurs of grind the grub circulated among the possum babies. They liked the way it sounded. Mama Possum beams with happiness. This is true, Antonio. Appleblossom points one of her fingers up into the sky and waits for her turn. Mama nods to her. Go ahead, Appleblossom. The littlest possum takes a moment to collect her thoughts. What she wants to say feels very important. Having a full jaw means that we have great smiles. Appleblossom thinks she hears sneezing behind her, but when she turns around, Alan's making a crazy face, and Alberta and Alyssa are laughing. Mama Possum stops the commotion. Thank you for sharing, Appleblossom. Now I'm off to find our next meal. You possums stay together right here and do your improvisational exercises. I'm going to have each one of you stage something for me very soon. Remember, whatever you do, you have got to be convincing. Use your imagination. That's the key to great performance. And with that, Mama Possum disappears into an overgrown hedge and leaves her 13 babies to rehearse. They are hopeful that she'll come back dragging a piece of rotten fruit or paper sack with the remains of cold, greasy French fries. Either option would be a truly tasty delight. All right, boys and girls, that was chapter 3. I'll be back with chapter 4. Have a great day. Missing you.